Hey John, I'm Elizabeth. Thanks so much for coming in to see us.
Nice to meet you.
So I'll be working with you as your physical therapist. Have you been to physical therapy before?
I tried it a couple of years ago, not for very long though. It kind of hurt too bad. I tried to go, but it wasn't worth it with consistency, I don't think.
Okay, yep, I hear that complaint a lot. So we'll take special consideration for you. I've read your chart, I've looked through everything. Thank you so much for your patience in filling out all of our questions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put those aside. I've read all and looked at all of those. Do you mind just telling me a little bit about why you're here and what I can do to help?
Sure. So about 3 years ago, I was lifting a TV at work. I blew my back out. I had an MRI at the time. They found I had a herniated disc in my lower back. Since then, you know, I've tried seeing a couple specialists trying to get it fixed, but nothing really seems to help. I've been in pain for 3 years since it happened.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's something that we hear a lot. These disc pathologies are something that we end up treating a lot. And we'll take a look at you as an overall whole and see what may be continuing to push that pain response. So can you tell me a little bit about what aggravates your lower back pain?
Being on my feet in general, honestly.
Okay.
I work on my feet maybe half the time. I can only be up for 10, 15 minutes, and then I've got to give it a break, whether it's, you know, sitting down, taking 5, 10 minutes, laying down preferably, but, you know, to get through the day, just trying to stay off my feet. My medication helps some to relieve the pain as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds like that makes it pretty hard to work to only be able to stand for 15 minutes. Have you noticed any decreased work performance because of that?
Yeah, definitely. I have a hard time just keeping up with my responsibilities. I mean, my boss just the other week pulled me aside and had a talk with me, you know.
Oh, no.
I think, I don't know, I could lose the job. It's not going that well.
Sounds really stressful.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you noticed that any of that increased stress plays any part of the pain in your lower back?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, especially after like the talk I just said I had with my boss. I mean, that night was a bad flare-up. I didn't sleep much. You know, I think the more I worry, the worse it gets. Sometimes on the weekend, maybe if I have a day and a half away from work, I can start to feel a little better. But you know, once there's things I'm responsible for and can't do, yeah, that's kind of hard.
Gotcha. So to this point, we've discussed with the patient his mechanism of injury. We've gotten some idea about his pain beliefs, that he believes that there's a disc in his lower back that's ruptured or herniated that's causing a lot of his pain. And we've gone through some of the aggravating factors, so we've determined a little bit of a baseline function. We've gotten some information about how stress plays into that, and that work is, this happened at work, which is a yellow flag for us, and also that work continues to aggravate his pain, another yellow flag for us. We've assessed a bit of his pain beliefs, as I said, with the disc pathology, and we've also assessed some of his coping strategies that he uses, medication and lying down, a passive coping strategy for dealing with his pain. And John has already made some of the connection between stress and pain, making it much more likely that he'll accept the biobehavioral model later down the road. So John, I think I have a good idea of how your pain is affecting your life, and I'd like to take a look at your back now. So would you mind standing up and showing me exactly where it's hurting?
Sure. So mostly in my lower back here, that's where the disc was on the MRI.
Okay.
Yeah, lower back, maybe towards the right side, I don't know.
Okay, I'm just going to touch your back now. Okay. And so here's where the symptoms are, correct?
Yeah.
And you're not having any pain up in this area?
No.
And how about down into your leg at all?
No, mostly the lower back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to move a little bit, but I did notice that it was a little bit hard for you to get out of the chair. So I just want to preface this and say, I just want to see how you naturally move. And I
Okay.
only want you to go to the point where it's just mildly uncomfortable and then return to normal, okay? So
Okay.
I'm not asking you to just push through and show me everything you got.
Okay,
I just
that
want to see a
sounds
little,
fair.
okay, great.
All
I
right.
just want to see a little
Yeah.
bit of and how it naturally is,
Yeah.
okay? Great. So
right.
I'll have you face this way. And I'm going to just ask you to bend forward like you're going to touch your toes, but just as far as you feel comfortable. And then make sure as soon as you get to that
Honestly,
point, that's fine,
that's
come on
all
back up.
That's all I got.
Okay, and did that hurt in the same location that it did
Yeah,
before? Okay.
definitely.
And how much did your pain rating go up with that?
Maybe it's a 5 when I'm just sitting down, maybe an 8 if I try to bend over or
Okay.
lift anything up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that you're done doing that movement, does it come back down to the 5 or has it stayed somewhere else?
Gradually, it still hurts a little bit. Maybe sitting down would kind of bring it back to
Okay.
that 5 or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So one thing that we see commonly is a slow movement into any range of motion that we're asking the patient to do, when in actuality he had far more flexion in sitting than he is having just trying to bend over. And I'm not saying that to say that I don't believe him at all, but his nervous system definitely thinks that this is a more threatening position than sitting down. So that gives us a great way to assess his ability to move, a fear of movement, and then also if he has already self-identified sitting as something that eases his pain, then we can utilize that if we ever aggravate the symptoms.